As you can see, there's a wildfire east of Santa Maria, California, USA.
This is our entryway, and here's our living room right here. As I look around, I see stuff that, I would see every day when I would live at the house, and I guess I kind of took it for granted. It seems like I would give anything just to have it back intact and back at the back in our arms.
Just a couple blocks away, everything seems like it's normal. Everything seems like nothing's going on around there, and then you just go a couple blocks up. It's just very, very sad. Like, I'm kind of at a loss for words. Don't really know what to say up here other than I'm praying for these guys. I'm praying for everyone to get through this. You can see the fire blazing. Holy shit. Wow.
And lit up. Look behind you. Look up. Look at it take off. Look what just took off behind us. Whoa! Holy go! That's a bonfire. That is a fire. The flames are just so hot that it feels like I'm sitting on a radiator. That's how close it feels. Watch out, embers! Duck down behind the car, Kayla. In my nose. Get behind the car. Get behind the car.
In 2017, I was starting here at Cal Poly my very first year, and in October, I got a phone call from my family saying that they had to evacuate our home because of the wildfires. We didn't expect that. My 3 grandparents were living with us at the time. They never received any evacuation warnings, so they just left just to make sure that the air quality for my grandparents was safe. And I think at around 1:30 in the morning, I got a phone call from a friend back home, and they said, you should check on your family because the fire is just everywhere in our town. I mean, obviously I was here, so I didn't really know what was happening, and I know they didn't want to tell me certain things because they didn't want to scare me. Yeah, I think within the next day, I got a phone call 7 in the morning saying that our entire neighborhood, including my home, was burned down. Because of the wildfires. I know that my family was trying to be really strong for me, but also that was kind of hard on me because that was my first time seeing the house in my neighborhood, and I didn't want to show emotion because I didn't want them to feel sad again because they had already experienced that trauma. So I tried to suppress my feelings and just cry by myself, or whenever I would come back here in San Luis Obispo, that was my time to reflect on what had happened to my family. I think just going back for Thanksgiving break in November, a month after it had happened, was just so overwhelming for me. Just seeing what used to be the hometown that I grew up in is just completely gone. It literally looked like a war zone. It was horrible. Basically, it just started with me scrolling through my Instagram. There was this one person. She went to the fields and she asked do you need anything? And a lot of the farm workers were just asking for school supplies for their kids because it was towards the end of August. And so I was just kind of hoping oh, I hope that someone does it in San Luis Obispo. But then I was just kind of well, I might as well just stop hoping and I'll just do it myself. And so then I did. And so then that morning I posted it on my social media hey, I'm gonna be at this park from this time, these days, if you want to donate something. And if you can't, here's my Venmo. I think within the first night, I got $1,500 into my Venmo account donated to me. And then the next day when I went to that park to collect the physical donations, it filled up my truck twice. So I really wasn't expecting all that support. It was just super overwhelming. And then when the Slow Tribune wrote like their article, I had a lot more people emailing me saying like, oh, like I read your article, I want to support you. So a lot of them sent me checks because there was a lot of older people. So they sent me checks. They didn't know what Venmo was, so they just came in and donated the supplies. So yeah, it was very overwhelming. But I was very surprised, but I was also very pleased with that. I mean, with the donations that I got a lot of donations in terms of like money. So I wanted to buy like the good quality that'll last them at least for a whole year backpacks. Binder paper, 2 folders, 2 notebooks, a pencil box filled with highlighters, mechanical pencils, pens, sharpeners, a flash drive, 16 gigabyte, extra number 2 pencils with an eraser, colored pencils, a ruler, markers, crayons, and index cards. So sorry, luego me paré and I was like, oh no. When we came last time, like they were putting together cauliflower and it's insane like how fast it is. Obviously, you know, when you are born and raised in a house, I was living there for about 18 years of my life. That was my home, that was everything. Like I had things from like my elementary school that I wanted to show my children, my baby pictures, everything. So when that burnt down, obviously I couldn't process, you know, losing a home because I wasn't there to see it. When we rebuilt, obviously I was very happy to have that new house, but every time I go there, it just doesn't feel like home. Like it's a house, but it's not my home. And I feel like because I wasn't part of the process of rebuilding, because I wasn't part of the designing, I wasn't there to pick the furniture with my sister, it doesn't feel like my home. I try so hard to like remember what my house used to look like. I remember like the blue carpet and then just like, I don't know, just like lying down with like my cat, going to the kitchen that's just full of tile and just being super cold in the mornings. And I don't know, there's just, I don't know, it really doesn't feel like my home. Every time I'm there, it just feels so uncomfortable. But obviously, like, I love hanging out with my parents. They're my best friends. And every time I can go home, I stay home. Like, I don't go out too much. I don't go out to see my friends. And when they invite me over, I don't know, I love being with my family. So it does hurt me knowing that obviously they put in that much time and effort to rebuild. It just, I can't feel that connection. And I think that's valid just because I wasn't there for that process and I'm not there in general. Like I'm here, you know, in San Luis Obispo trying to finish my undergrad, but every time I go home, it doesn't feel like my home. I don't know, it was such a weird time. I knew that it happened to my house. I knew it was my family. It felt like I couldn't feel bad because it didn't happen to me because I wasn't there. We were able to rebuild our home in about 9 months. We just celebrated our 2-year anniversary living in the house. We were the first Latino family to move back into our community, and I think the 7th family overall to move back into our neighborhood.